Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Dave TV. We're down at the Dirty Dog, and it's the competition kind of thing, I guess, so to speak. And I'm here with Blake from I-TERRA from Houston, Texas. How are you, man?
Doing all right.
I understand you haven't ever really played in Austin, huh?
No, this is honestly my first time. I've lived in Houston my whole life. Never been to Austin, though. It kind of sucks because now that I'm here, I'm really jealous. Bars and music everywhere, which is awesome. Yeah, this is my first time ever playing here.
I hope you enjoy it. It definitely is a great town for music, man. I think a lot of people get spoiled by it, but I try to hit every show I can. Been almost every night this weekend, but you know, when you hold a regular job, it's hard to do anything but weekends. Do you struggle with that as well?
Oh yeah, I just got a new job. I had to quit one because I was getting more serious with the band that I'm in. Because I mean, the band and touring, making music's the dream. So became a bartender. Like honestly, a lot of musicians that I know, bartending's more flexible, stuff like that. Yeah. So it's hard, but you manage.
That's awesome. So how did you get wrapped up with this competition and the show today?
Honestly, a lot of friends of ours in Houston, they were already on the Battle of the Bands for the Summer Slaughter tour this year. The promoter that was holding it at Walters downtown Houston, apparently a couple bands had to drop. They were going on other tours and stuff like that, and he just hit us up and invited us, said, hey, you know, he invited us a week before the show, and he asked us, do you want to be a part of it? And we're like, of course, you know, hell yeah, we want a chance. So we just showed up. We played with a lot of friends of ours. Everybody was awesome. We honestly didn't expect to win, but lo and behold, we won, and we won round one, so we'll be in Summer Slaughter for our hometown, and now we're hoping to get the regional date here.
That is so cool.
Go to LA for round 3.
That is amazing. Yeah, I love the way that these shows are structured. Brings together a lot of great people and kind of puts you in a weird position at certain points where you're competing with friends maybe, because the local music scene is pretty tight in general. I know here, would you agree for Houston, everybody's kind of a unit?
Oh yeah, for the most part, because like I was telling some guys earlier, I mean, there's been some venue drops that used to hold all these great, awesome tours that helped all these local bands. For whatever reason, they had to close down. So the music scene kind of seemed like it died out for a little while, but all these bands that we're friends with, even some bands that we don't know yet, but we have heard of, we're all trying to uplift the music scene in Houston. And Walters venue is the main one downtown that's helping us. All local bands and also national bands come through. The bar that I work for, Vintage Pub, is also like on the north side of Houston, trying to, because Houston's a big city. Not everybody can always go downtown, even bands perform, but Vintage Pub in North Houston is also trying to help all local bands, have all local shows, try to get national bands to come through and play as well to help them out. Trying to make Houston a very metal, hardcore, or really just music scene overall, because a lot of people think it's all country or rap, you know, and it's not. There's a huge, huge metal, hardcore, punk scene in Houston. We just don't get a lot of rep for it, unfortunately.
When I was a little younger, there was a lot of metal coming out of Houston. Yeah. I think that hip-hop, rap, and a lot of that took hold.
Yeah, which is fine by all means. I love all music. I don't hate on any really in particular, but I'm just trying to uplift my own, you know, where I'm at.
Exactly. That's why I understand what you're saying. It seems like in Austin, blues seems to be what takes note, you know, and for the hot moment they're trying to sign the next blues guy every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But when you look in a club like Dirty Dog, or you go out to the east side, and we've got a handful of clubs over there that are nothing but like supporting awesome punk rock music. This town is full of all sorts of genres of music and all amazing, you know, bands that are living their life, putting their blood and heart into it. So
right. I mean, like I said, first time ever here, we went out on 6th Street last night just to walk around, go through a couple bars, get a couple of drinks, and every bar had a different music going on, and it was so awesome to just walk by and see all these local artists or maybe even national artists playing in such a small vicinity, but all together, just music everywhere. It was really awesome.
Yeah, and 6th Street is still somewhat embedded with local original music. Yeah. I think personally, I see a lot more cover bands and whatnot, which is still live music, and that's great. Right. Musicians getting paid to do their gigs, because you would probably guess on the other nights when they're not doing those cover band gigs, they're out there doing their regular gig, you know. So, but they've kind of scooted us over down to Red River now off of 6th Street, and a lot of good clubs there, as you mentioned earlier, have come and gone. And it's hard because you want to appreciate, oh, that club did great things for this town and the band's in it, and the Saab, it's gone. But at the same time, man, we're popping them open like on the east side and everywhere. Even South Austin is now kind of creating new venues. So with the closing of the clubs, do you find that you're just losing clubs, or do you also have some new things opening up?
In Houston, a couple of them are closing. I mean, you got new bars popping up all the time, especially in North Houston where we're from. But for the most part, it kind of just seems like it's more just like bars and sports bars. And that's why, you know, all these bands and local bands, we're all trying to band together and help each other out and just try and get more music in Houston, because it seems like there was a lot more when I was in high school, and it sucks. But at the same time, the ones that are still around are some of the ones that are now popping up. They're trying to take care of their musicians that come through, and that's what really matters, the fans and the music. And when you actually have a bar or a venue that knows that and cares about that more than just making money sense, that's what really counts. So.
That's awesome, and that's why I'm doing this thing. I let people know I used to do public access for almost 20 years, and the internet just became easy enough to access and fast enough and quality-wise better. So I've been doing it this way, but yet I still, since probably 1990, am going out to clubs at least every weekend and bringing out footage for people to look at. If they don't want to come see bands, they're going to hear it from me, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and that's awesome that you do that. I mean, I wish, I mean, there might be people in Houston, I just haven't met them that do that. I mean, I know there's, you know, magazines and papers that'll go and do articles and reviews of bands or let people know, hey, this band's playing here. But there's nobody like taking the fact that internet is such a powerful thing right now. I mean, bands know that because we're all over YouTube and stuff like that. But there's nobody really like going out to shows saying, hey, these guys were here, this is their performance, go see them next time.
Exactly.
And that's what
and I see you here burning CDs here at the gig, ready to push the music. What do you got that you're putting out? What can you tell me about that recording?
This is our first EP. It's a 5-song EP. We have other songs that aren't on it, but it's just our hard work music. Every song has a different story to it. That's just the kind of lyrics that I wrote. Every song, in my opinion, our opinion, has a different feel to it, because that's just the kind of band we are. We get in the studio, we practice the songs that we already have, but then we also say, what do we feel like? Or we don't even actually say anything, we'll just start playing and write riffs and write beats and lyrics, and we just put it all together. And that's actually kind of, the band name actually kind of expresses that. So, yeah. A lot of people ask us, you know, what does I-TERRA mean? Actually, our guitarist was the one that came up with the name. Terra coming from the word terrestrial or terraform, meaning kind of like a nature or natural state of things. They put I in front of it in reference to one being of his natural self or her natural self. And that just goes back to the music of, we just get in there, we just write music. We don't necessarily go saying, okay, we want to write a song like this today or that today. It's just whatever comes out. And that's why every song of ours has different influences in it. So it
sounds like an organic creation when you guys come together. Huh?
It's a lot of metal and hardcore, but we try to put all different feels into it, because we're real big Deftones fans, but then we're also with Gojira. We go to Beneath the Massacre, to A Day to Remember. You know, it's a huge mix, and that's what we like to do. So
that's cool. Yeah. So if you got picked up today by a management deal or a label and you went out on the road with a band, what's the perfect fit? Who do you want to be on the road with?
Oh, gee.
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
Man, the dream, I guess, showed if we could tour. I mean, we're already happy we're on Summer Slaughter with all those great bands that are on that, like, you know, Morbid Angel, Dying Fetus, Thy Art Is Murder, Origins, Fallujah. Those are all great bands. I mean, honestly, I'm a huge fan of Upon a Burning Body, and I'm not just saying that because we're in Texas and all that, but I mean, they're locals and they've really, I feel like, represented their state perfectly. I mean, shit, they even got songs about Texas. That I would love to fucking play a show with them and share the stage with them.
I love the Texas music scene myself.
Yeah,
so.
And that's another thing, in my opinion, as far as I know from people I've met around the country, not a lot of people think that Texas has a metal scene, you know, as far as that, you know, or at least not like they did back in the day. But I mean, you got great bands coming out of there. As far as locally, we got friends, Gods of Death Screw out of Houston. They're going on tour with other friends of ours, Dysmetria, and Nephilim Terror. It'd be cool if we ever went on the road with them because we're all from Houston, we're all from Texas. You know, just kind of expose the world to that. Nationally, other than Upon a Burning Body, I mean, there's just so many great bands out there. I can't even name them all.
Well, it's good. It's good taste. I think it helps people relate to kind of where you're coming from. And I-TERRA, you're on the net, I'm sure.
Yes.
Reverb Nation, Facebook.
Reverb Nation, Facebook. Our EP is for sale on Bandcamp. Just $5. We take, obviously, if you want to pay more to help us out, by all means. Those are the main ways right now. We're in the works of getting shirts and even booty shorts for girls if they want to buy some made.
I love the ones that a crowd like you has with the hands on the bottom. Hey, but you had the hands on there. I couldn't help. I had to.
Actually, it would even be cool to go on tour with them. I mean, we just met them last night because they played here, but they're all the way from New York, and they said, dude, anytime you come through New York, we'll party with you. So I mean, that's the main part of music too, just meeting other musicians that are like, we're all a family. We try to be a family. But yeah, those are the main websites and stuff. We're trying to get an actual physical copy of the EP made too. It's just it all takes money and time.
Hand-to-hand combat, man. That's what it's all about. Well, Blake, thank you very much for doing the Dave TV thing. And I-TERRA, if you dig what you see, we'll show some clips from the Dirty Dog show today. Check them out online, man, and go see a show if they ever show up. See ya.